So ladies, thanks for taking your evening time to join this very quick briefing session for Art Gallery Moms. Okay, Babita, I will make you co-host. So just in case I'm presenting and there are still artists joining the room, please help me admit them. Yeah. Okay, so we will just go ahead into the topic of Art Gallery Moms. We have actually presented some of this content during Mama and Palettes community space open house. But today I have added in some more content regarding the theme interpretation because I understand some of you might have questions regarding, how the theme can be interpreted, right? And how that can be relevant to your art. So I think for those of you who haven't attended the open house, here's some background about the Art Gallery Moms and why we are so excited about it. So as you guys know, we all as a collective joined Art Gallery Association Singapore in May. So they are the leading national body not governing, like they are a community of art galleries in Singapore. So although Mama and Palettes, we are not a gallery, we are a non-profit society, they have invited us to join because we are also an art collective focusing on creating impact through art with focus on mothers' mental health. So anyway, just like a small knowledge, right? Actually, for any galleries to join August, it will cost $4,000. But because first, we are an athlete member, and second, we do have enough mamas who are interested in joining together, then actually each of you just pays $50 to be part of this organization. And right now we have 3 volunteer gallery managers. So they are Babita, Kavisa, and Samantha. Of course, Samantha recently is caught up in some of her family things. So Babita actually stepped in to help out a lot. Actually, Art Gallery Association organize a members meeting every month. So any one of us, now of course primarily Babita, will attend the meeting and gather all the information that will be helpful or useful to our members, such as open calls or exhibitions and so on. So the Singapore Art Gallery Month was previously known as the Singapore Art Gallery Weekend. It's actually the biggest event by August every year. And last year, you can still find last year's event information from their website if you search for Singapore Art Gallery Weekend, right? That's when they will actually organize some kind of a gallery crawl. They will actually create a map of all the galleries under their association and also drive awareness and traffic to visit the curated exhibitions in each of the gallery during the weekend. So I guess because now they have expanded with a lot more gallery members, they have therefore extended the duration from 1 weekend to 1 month. So that's from 1st to 29th of September. And I think it's a strategic choice of the time because it coincides with some international events that brings the foreigner traffic to Singapore. So it actually coincides with the Singapore Grand Prix, that is the F1, and also Token 2049, which is the cryptocurrency and Web3 events. And I think that's also Singapore Design Week. So I must share that August haven't really shared with us their marketing plan in details at this stage. Babita actually wrote to them about 3 weeks ago, and the response is that for sure they will do a lot of publicity, but at the current stage, they haven't really formed a plan to share with us. But right now, the MOP as well as many other art galleries have already input our events. So we have decided the title of our exhibition to be Reborn Motherhood, and we propose it to be an art exhibition, refreshed weekly, and together with artist talks, meet the artist sessions, as well as maybe even workshops during these 5 weeks that we are organizing. We have put our events description into their agenda, and I can see a lot of galleries have put down their events listing there. So I'm hoping that others can come up with their marketing plan and share with us soonest so we can share with you. But anyway, I will continue with the background and how it was done in the past, right? So in the past for Singapore Art Gallery Weekend, they will actually have quite a lot of activation programs. Yeah, Prisa, I will mute you, okay? So the others can hear me clearly. You can read the slides on yourself. So I think they are trying to get more diverse in the type of events they organize this year. Besides, the usual ones such as, tour around the art exhibition, tour around the galleries, launch party, networking, and so on. But I think they want to add in more like even yoga sessions or sake gallery crawl. That means, the art collectors and visitors, they will have some drinks and then they will look around the gallery. And this year, they also added in an idea for a family and children-oriented activity, which is quite interesting. Again, if we have more details, we'll share with you. But Babita and I have already indicated that MOP is interested in hosting these activities because we are a mother artist community. Then I think what's valuable about Agas is that they have connections with private art collectors. Even later when I share about our judges, right? Some of them are actually private art collectors as well. So that is why, while I know some of you are, have questions about the fee, which later I will explain why the fee. I think just don't care lah, submit your exhibition. Submit your application at this stage because till you confirm you will join the exhibition, it will be really a good exposure to, share your art and let them be seen by these, really renowned art judges. I will go through their profiles and share with you why they are important people that you don't want to miss being presenting your art, although not in person, but virtually through the application form, right, to let them see your artworks. Okay, so just very quickly regarding some of the program activations by Agas that they are planning, such as the launch party. So they want to have a big launch party. If some of you are at our Mother's Day art exhibition event opening at South Beach, I guess it will be something like that, right? But it could be in a museum or it could be at an art place. And they will gather media, artists, collector, influencer, and all of our Agas members to join. And of course, I will fight for the most tickets for our own MOP and Agas members to be able to join the launch event. Then they also have this young collector and artist speed dating. So basically it's like, you will be in a gallery sitting around the table and every 5 minutes, you as an artist have this time to pitch yourself as well as your artworks to the collector. And if he's interested, you will exchange contact. The collector may come to contact you or you may go back to him. And then every 5 minutes, you will switch your partner. So it's like a speed dating, right? And it's a very fast speed yet efficient way for you to pitch yourself, to pitch your artworks to the young collectors. And then this is something new. They want to do yoga sessions in art galleries. But I think this one is not really something for us because our space is not that big. But I mean, by all means, if once they have come up with the program agenda, we'll be happy to share with you guys if you want to join. Then this is something they have hosted before. They have been they partner with a local sake distributor company. Basically you have the drink while you appreciate the artworks. So it's like a cocktail party. And then this is the new idea also for family and children-oriented events. They also want to have educational talks and workshops, which Mama and Palette will be hosting as well, and driving our own guests to hear your talks at the week that you are selected to exhibit. Okay, and then there are some other more. Okay, so now I will jump into our own open call. I already see some questions. Okay, no questions in the chat, but feel free to leave your questions in the chat. Then we can go through all of them at the end. Okay, so this is our own open call. Actually, the team spent a lot of efforts in brainstorming and boiling down what will be a unique exhibition for us. Of course, all of you are professional artists, but at the same time, I'm mothers. So I was also inspired by the brainstorming session we had with some of you. I think back in February or maybe sometime around there, we were talking about, having a presence at the Affordable Arts Fair this year, right? And we were brainstorming some of the themes and ideas. And I was especially impressed by this topic by one of the participants, sorry, I forgot who, about when mother give birth to children, the children also give birth to the mom, right? So then together with Babita and Kavisa, we were brainstorming, then the name of Reborn Motherhood come about. So we want to use this art exhibition to interpret the maternal journey and the motherhood spirit through art. And of course, because the art gallery months actually is from 1st September to 29th September, that is by August, their official date, but they are open to for us to extend beyond their dates, and they will be still in their publicity. So that is why I decided that we want to extend until October. First, to give more more opportunities for more mamas to showcase. And second, because there is this World Mental Health Day on 10th of October. So on the day itself, we also really want to organize like talks and insights sharing. Again, if some of you were at our Mother's Day art exhibition opening, we had a therapist, Dr. Geraldine Tan, sharing the importance of mothers being caring for themselves, and how do we actually recognize, right, the importance of our mental health and what can we do about it. So we want to really have some more engagement and raising more awareness about maternal mental health on the World Mental Health Day, and therefore the extension. So overall, the exhibition's objective is about art, but it's also beyond art. So that's why we ask all our judges to not just make judgments based on the traditional way of judging art, right? But also to look into each of your stories and to read about the meaning, right, behind your artwork. How is your artwork message reflecting and resonating with reborn motherhood? So later I will break down each of the sub-theme into details to share with you. So that's Reborn Motherhood for our own curated art exhibition. And we have these 5 elements, right? So I think in a nutshell, what we want to convey, the message behind the topic is that when mother give birth, they also give a rebirth to themselves, because previously we might be just girls, right? We might be daughters, but now only after we give birth, we become a mother. So that is really a born of a new identity because of, giving birth to children. So through the showcase, we want to interpret maternal journey and motherhood spirit through art. And we also want to celebrate the spirit of mental health, World Mental Health Day, and raise awareness for mothers' mental health, and to get more support for all women and mother artists. So this is, the overall theme. And then if I jump into the sub-themes, so we break down the 5 weeks, right? So each week there is a different theme presented by a different color. And they, again, I want to highlight, right? The color itself is not literally the color you must use for your artwork. So of course, if your artwork is mainly in red or mainly in pink, so it resonates with the same, that's true. But at the same time, right, do read the detailed interpretation, which we have also been posting on social media. We'll be rolling out in the next few days about the meaning. So for example, red is actually a symbol, right, for passion, for love, vitality, and actually is also represent the struggles, the sacrifices the mom gave. Maybe when you look at the red, you think about, actually we lose a lot of blood, right? As a mother, when we give birth, it is true. So, it can be interpreted into anything, not necessarily that you need to use red literally to fit into the red theme, but we invite our judges to more look into your story or messaging, of how your artworks reflect this message about life, life of a mother, right? And all the challenges and struggles you go through, yet the love, the selflessness and the passion that you bring to this new identity. So that's for red. Then the next week, from 8th to 14th of September, will be the theme of blue. So blue again, not literally the blue. Of course, I know a lot of you, like I know Apana, I know Chatrani, you like to use blues, right? Even Babita, sometimes you use blues in your fine art painting, which are fine. But again, the messaging behind is more about, blue actually represent the calmness and maybe the blues, right, of motherhood. And it's just like so the emotional wise, it provide a soothing yet powerful lens for the complexity of motherhood. When you look into blue, you might think about sky, you might think about the ocean, which are all look at like very simple when you talk about sky, right? But it has very much of a complexity and layers of messages and layers of content in that blue sky, in that blue ocean. So that is how you can interpret the blue theme. Then as we move on to the next one, happening on 22nd of September to 28th of September will be the green theme. So green, when you think about green, it actually represents about like when you think about green, it's always about plants, tree, growth, right? Just like our children. So in green theme, it actually portray our we as mothers as we as the caregivers, we are the person who actually foster the growth of our children. We create environments for our children so their life can flourish. So the whole green theme is about growth, vitality, and how our care as mothers can foster new lives, basically. And next, for purple, oh, sorry, I think I have mixed the sequence. So purple is first before green. So purple is week 3, 15 September to 21st of September. And purple itself is actually a royal color because mothers are actually very, you can say, sometimes people say mothers are like goddess, right? Because you are simply powerful, you can do everything and give everything to your children. So actually, blue is try to portray mothers as the royal person, as as a very esteemed person in your family. And how do you interpret your own motherhood journey in this sense? And lastly, the second last will be pink, our 5th week from 29 September to 5th of October. So pink is MOP's color, right? But when you look at pink, you can also think about love, warmth, care, and because it's a gentle color, it's not like a pure red or pure white, right? It's a very gentle, very tender kind of color. It might remind you of all the sweet little moments that you interact with your baby, with your children. So pink is the way for us to celebrate motherhood, to celebrate the tenderness in your motherhood. And lastly, I don't have a graphic for white yet, but you noticed that probably we've been using white background for all the graphics. That is with intention because the word Mental Wellness Day is the thing or maybe the climax that we want to celebrate. There's a lot of text here, but in a nutshell, I think white at the same time represent purity. It also represents balance. So we also want to use this occasion to remind mothers, like beside your role as a caregiver, as a wife, as a daughter, there needs to be a space for yourself. And there needs to be a balance between your self-identity as well as your other identities as caregiver. And therefore, it requires mindfulness to keep reminding of yourself, to be caring for yourself, to keep reminding of yourself of your own mental wellness in your journey of motherhood. So that's the last week. Now I have finished sharing about all the themes. Now going to I realize we only have 10 minutes left, so I want to keep some time for your questions. This is a timeline. Give a read on yourself regarding the different week dates. and also the timeline. So I heard from many of you that because the school holiday has just completed, right? Same to me. And I had a mixture of feelings today as my kids just went back to school today. But I think so far all good. I hope same for yours too. Anyway, because of school holiday and all of you are just resuming your school routines with your kids, we decided to extend the open call to 5th of July, but however, cannot be anyone later. I will explain why. Because for our judges, they all have a very busy schedule, and the best we can do for them is 2 weeks for them to do the judge, right? And Babita and Kavisa are actually working very hard behind the scenes to consolidate your artworks into the folders, sharing with them to brief them and remind them on the timeline, right? So then from there, once the judges have come back, we will do our own round of calculation of the scores, and then we will notify the selected artists and artworks by 23rd of July. Now, we give 1 week for the artist to decide. Now you are selected whether you confirm you want to join, because there is a payment, and I will explain about the payments because we want to do the art exhibition in our current studio. It's because first is in a central location. Second, actually we are quite near to a few other Agas galleries. If you are not aware, we are near to BOL, a Korean art gallery. We are also near to this sorry, I forgot to pronounce, but this very tall building that has a lot of furniture stores with Gallery 1819 and gallery and Living with Art in it, and several other galleries. So actually it's a strategic location, and plus we have been putting in a lot of efforts to raise awareness of this community space. And secondly, the pricing is actually only 50%. So Mama and Pella is covering 50% of the rental fee to be able to provide the space and block out all the other activities just for the showcase. And lastly, as we are still waiting for Aga's information about their marketing plan, we will also do our own marketings, right? So that involves inviting VIP guests to see your artworks. Then we need to provide refreshments to them. And we will also need to find ways without mounting on the wall to exhibit your artworks in a nice way. So that is, of course, we'll also do some paid marketing to spread awareness of each week. So that's where all the costs come from. And right now I'm also looking at some possible fund that can help to subsidize, to reduce the cost of this, all the nitty-gritty details to host the exhibition. But just want to share very transparently with you why we are charging the fee. And the fee is actually already 50% subsidized. Now, moving on, if you confirm by 31st of July that you want to be in, the week that you want to be in, because I know maybe some of you want to join 2 weeks or 3 weeks, right? But maybe in the end, you decided, okay, you just want to join 1 week, which is okay. So all this need to be confirmed by 31st of July, because by 1st of August, we will do the public announcement on MOP's channel. And also by then, Agas should already set their own marketing plan. So they may require all the details. Who are the artists showcasing in your exhibition? What are the detailed programs? Blah, blah, blah. So all those will need to be synced by Agas when ready, so they can do publicity for us as well. Okay, so that's the rough timeline. And this is my last slide regarding our volunteers in charge. So Kavesa will be the one to, she already launched the open call. And for all of your questions, she and Babita will take turns to answer. And Babita actually prepared a very good Q&A document, which we have pinned in our MOP and Agas chat group. You can go to the document first before you ask any question, in case your question is already covered in that document. And Kavisa will be liaising with you for the confirmation and payments, as well as supporting me and for the art events curation. And Babita is helping me with the liaising with all the judges, as well as art events curation. And also we will be hosting our own invited guest every week. So she will be the one to help me with the coordination, and Kavisa will be the one to notify you which day we have important guests coming down. Yeah, so that's about it. Let me go back to the slide so you can see the timeline while I will check all your questions. And I saw Babita has been answering to some of your questions, so thank you so much. That is very efficient of you.
Alice, the size of the canvas, it's Ida was asking, like the size limit is still, we are keeping it at 100 by 100, right?
Yes, but if slightly exceeding, I think it's okay. So I think don't worry too much first. Again, our judges won't disqualify you if you are like 30 centimeters over and so on. What I'm more worried about is how do we lay out the artworks nicely after you guys are selected. So I think to the participating artists, don't worry too much first. Okay, if you feel your artworks really resonate with the theme, just submit first. If you really cannot find the space to put your artwork, if you are selected, then we will discuss with you separately. You know how we work, right? We don't like remain cold. You can always approach us anytime and discuss anytime. We'll always find the best solution for you. Yeah, to Gillian's question, if you have more than one artworks accepted for the same week, it's still 210. So that's why we keep it maximum 3 artworks per artist per week. Maybe, you know, all your 3 artworks are selected, then good for you. You are exhibiting 3 artworks and you are still paying 1 week's rental fee. Okay, if I think Babita has been answering most of the questions. So let me quickly go to the judges' profiles because I want you guys to know them. And also maybe you can follow them or stalk them to see what they like. No, just kidding. I think stick to something that you really feel resonate with our theme. That is the most important. And write good stories about yourself. Okay, so if you go to Mama on Palette's website, you can actually see the profiles of all the judges. So of course, for those of you who have participated in Affordable Art Fair, you wouldn't be unfamiliar with Alan. So Alan has been running the Affordable Art Fair Singapore for several years. So he is the head of the fair director, and he himself has been in the art scene for many years, right? And he himself is an artist as well. So I think this, for him to come in, he can provide both, like from a fair perspective, because for Affordable Art Fair, he always select the best artworks that he believe will be able to sell, right? So I think he can offer the lens from both commercial perspective, the collector's perspective, as well as from the art perspective. Then we have Angeline. She is actually a program leader at NAFA, and she teaches art herself with backgrounds in, so she has both a master degree and bachelor degree in fine art, and she teaches art, and she also does her own fine fashion art collections. So I think she's an award-winning lecturer in both Singapore Design Award as well as the Bells Graduate Award Singapore, which make her a qualified artist to assess your artworks. And those of you who have participated in piece of art events like the Sustainable Kids Market or Christmas art market before, you will know Eunice. So Eunice is a powerful fundraiser for Singapore Red Cross under the umbrella of Piece of Art. So she actually does this large scale sustainable art market every year. This year we had 4 artists joining the show. So she actually selected artists from those 10 plus of you who submitted, right? And then including her own art, they were exhibited at Marina Square for about 1 month, and she managed to auction off some of our artists' works as well to be donated to the charity. And she herself being an artist, I think that makes her a very qualified judge for us. Then we have Kelvin, who is the founder of Sound of Art. So it's a Christian art gallery, and he's been working with some of our artists. I think Gillian and Wendy would know him very well. And he's been curating several art exhibitions in the hotels. So him coming in from an art gallery perspective is also very powerful. The last 3, Howie Lau is actually working a tech leader. And I will be very transparent with you. Well, we actually work in the same company, but I actually know him through art because he's an art collector. So he actually has a few collections in the National Gallery Singapore. But he just like allow the gallery to showcase his own collections there. And sometimes he wear the hat as a volunteer docent to lead the crowd to visit the gallery. And recently he has studied his own part-time MA in Asian art histories. So his focus is quite a lot on the Southeast Asian art. And he comes in with a perspective of also a male and also a tech leader. So I think that is quite interesting, right, for him to see your art and for him to also maybe, call his art collector friends to come in to see your art as we roll out the actual exhibition. Then lastly will be Dr. Siu. She recently, so I was at Singapore Council of Women Organization last weekend, and she was elected to be the new president of SAWO as the previous president, Jeannie Fu, has retired. So she's a dentist by nature, by profession, but she has been serving quite a few women empowerment community in the past years and now being the president of SAWO. As you guys should have heard, right? We collaborated with them many of the times. They are Singapore's largest women community. So for her, it's less than of an art, but more from a story. So she will read your motherhood story from a female perspective and from a women empowerment perspective to see, what resonates with her. So I think I'm very grateful, when I reach out, all these judges, they agreed to on board to volunteer their time to look at all your artworks. So I would say, do grab the chance to submit your artworks. There's nothing to lose from your end at this stage, but do write. Don't anyhow send anything that you have sent anywhere else, but do focus on interpreting the theme that really resonates with you, and also to write your own artist story. I'm sure each of you has a nice story to share, right, about your own motherhood journey, about why you turned into art after becoming a mother. So all these are good elements for you to become a successfully selected. Okay, so actually our time is up.
Alice,
Yes.
one quick question. There is a question from Kaylee where she's asking whether there is any restriction on the year and the when the submitted artwork was made, and can the same artwork that was featured in Sightma be published, be submitted again?
Yeah, that is okay.
Okay.
You can submit 12 forms. Okay, yeah. So for Apana, if you submit two different themes, yes, if you are selected for both, then it's 210 for each theme. But it's up to you to decide if later you just want to stay in one theme. It's also okay. And the one plus is that, as I mentioned, right, if we just do the exhibition without doing engagement, the traffic will be low. That is why if you are selected for a particular week, or maybe 4 of you, 5 of you are selected for a particular week, then our team will get in touch with you laterwards, maybe in August, to curate some programs to host the guest, as well as to have artist talks. So MOP will be helping to do the marketing, calling of ISVP, and of course your own friends to come in to listen to your talk and engage with you, engage with the arts, to listen to the artwork stories. That usually helps with your sale, if not the branding. I think recently Gillian shared, right? Sometimes immediately on the spot, people may not buy, but they may remember your story or may pass your story to someone else. And then that goes on. And maybe 1 year later, someone suddenly approaches you to buy the artwork. So I really hope that case will happen on each of you. And that's why I encourage all of you to share your stories more and more often. And I hope to see all of you in this open call. If any questions, just leave in the chat, or first step, refer to the FAQ doc that Babita spent a lot of time working on. If your question is not in the doc, then you ask in the chat group, and then we can include your question into the FAQ for others to refer to. So anyway, you still have about 2 2.5 weeks to submit. There's still time. Any years of artworks is allowed. So even if it's not a new one, it's okay. But I think the story and the connection between this artwork to the theme is more important for the judges to see. So I wish all of you good luck, and I hope to see you in the art gallery months. As soon as we have the marketing details from August, we'll share with all of you. All right.
Thank you.
So much, ladies.
Thank you, Alice.
Evening. Go
Bye.
and dinner. Bye bye.
Bye bye.